Welcome, Sens'd talk.
Russell winds in, feeds it back across the track and scores! Brady Tkachuk makes it 2-0. Claude Giroux, hit alone, scores!
Tim stunts across, Tkachuk score! The captain, Brady Tkachuk, buries it with 1:18 to go.
See you later. Go Sens'd, go. Welcome to Sens'd Talk. My name is Brandon Plant, and I'm your host. Tonight, Ottawa took on the Chicago Blackhawks in the Tank Bowl. Chicago is second last in the National Hockey League, while Ottawa, going into this one, has won 3 straight. So they are climbing up the standings as their playoff odds continue to drop. That is the Ottawa Senators special. What can I say? Now, Ottawa, of course, yesterday took down the Sabres decisively, 6-2, scoring 5 goals, the most goals in a first period in Senator history, en route to that 6-2 victory. So they're looking to win 4 straight if they get a win tonight, but they're playing Chicago, who, like I already mentioned, not a great team, but for some reason, Ottawa has not beaten the Chicago Blackhawks since 2016. It's been over 8 years. The last time they beat the Chicago Blackhawks, Barack Obama, according to Gordon Miller, was the president. So it's been 2 presidents since. It's been a long time. So Ottawa's looking to spoil the Connor Bedard party in Ottawa, as Connor Bedard, the phenom, comes to Ottawa for the first time in his NHL career. And let's just say Ottawa would take a penalty 9 seconds in. Things look to be looking good early on for Chicago, but that would be erased rather quickly as Claude Giroux makes some history. He walks in, snipes it shorthanded to make it 1-0 Ottawa. I don't really know what Chicago's defense was doing on this one. You had Seth Jones literally letting Claude Giroux walk in. It was a nice play from JBD to draw the defender towards him to give Giroux that lane. I don't know what Seth Jones was thinking, though, backing up and giving him more of a lane. But overall, great to see Claude Giroux, for the 11th time in his NHL career, hit 20 goals. This guy is so dynamite, and we are so lucky that he's an Ottawa Senator. What a blessing that is. By the way, shout out to Parker Kelly. We'll be talking about it in a minute. Great play there to stay on side. Very, good offensive IQ there to stay on side and really stretch to keep that goal on the board. Speaking of goals, speaking of Parker Kelly, Kelly makes it 2-0. Shout out Connor Bedard, turns it over, and Ottawa takes advantage. Kelly throws it on net. Zaitsev tips it out front. Shout out Nikita Zaitsev. Ottawa leads by 2 now. It's 2-0 Senators. In Nikita Zaitsev's return to Ottawa, I found it very strange that the Ottawa Senators did not even do a little tribute to Zaitsev, like a little graphic, a whole, video, fair enough if you don't want to do that, but even a little welcome back graphic. It was a little odd. Very odd, frankly, that they didn't do that. He was here long enough to warrant that. So, little odd. I don't know if there is beef, so to speak, between the organization and Zaitsev. Maybe that stems from if you don't remember, let's just say a fan that was impersonating a journalist, and Zaitsev got into some heated words. We'll just leave it at that. So maybe the organization wasn't too fond about that. I don't know. But I found it very odd, to be honest with you. Very, very odd. They wouldn't pay tribute to him. But regardless, Ottawa leads 2-0 after 20 minutes of play. And Parker Kelly, 8 goals on the year, a career high. Congratulations to him. That entire fourth line, as I mentioned yesterday, has looked fantastic since, of course, the new head coach, Jacques Martin being brought in. Parker Kelly has had a complete resurgence. Same with Mark Hasseluk. He's looked far better as of late. But Boris Tkachuk, who we claimed off of waivers just a day before the trade deadline, or on the deadline, actually, I believe, has been incredible. Almost scored today on Peter Mrazek, but that entire fourth line has been buzzing. So I like what I see. Tkachuk will be back. He's an RFA. They'll likely qualify him. So him, Kelly, I liked him in that bottom 6 on that fourth line. I need to see a bit more from Mark Hasseluk. He's looking far better as of late. The offense is starting to come. The faceoffs are there. So I like Hasseluk, I like Tkachuk, and I like Kelly for that fourth line. But that third line is going to have some scoring then, because I don't know if these guys are going to be carrying offense like they are right now in this little stretch. Who knows? It could continue, but they definitely need to bring some offense into that bottom 6. But right now, Kelly for sure is a lock. Tkachuk, I'd love to bring back. And Hasseluk, he wins faceoffs. He's been playing far better as of late, playing a little more physical as well. You like to see that. So a little bit of a tip of the cap to that fourth line, who continues to really impress. So we go to the second period of play, and not much going on. Ottawa and Chicago are just passing the puck back and forth. Same thing in the third, frankly. Peter Mrazek made some huge stops. Chicago, they didn't really get anything going on Anton Forsberg. They didn't even put 20 shots on net. He faced 19 shots, and he stopped all 19 of them as he gets the second shutout of the year as the Sens win 2-0 over the Chicago Blackhawks to win 4 straight games and to win their first game against Chicago in over 11 games. They've lost 11 straight to Chicago. They've finally beaten the Blackhawks. So the weird streak is finally over as Ottawa takes down Chicago 2-0. 4 straight wins as Ottawa and their playoff odds continue to drop. They continue to rise in the standings. I cannot explain it. This is always what happens with the Ottawa Senators when they are down and very, very, very much out. But you know what? They played well. I like when the team wins regardless where they are in the standings. So I'm happy. I'm not going to cheer for a loss, but it's just so weird that this team is so consistent at being inconsistent. And what I mean by that is they lose, but when they win, they win. So they go on these crazy runs. So they either lose 5 or 6 in a row or win 4 or 3 in a row. It's nothing in the middle. There's no in between. So this team, again, shooting their draft lottery odds late in the year, but we love to see the team winning. No doubt about that. But it's just annoying because we've seen this dance where they win at the end of the year when it does not matter, and then they get a far worse draft pick. And Ottawa this year has 2 first-round picks. Having one in the top 5 potentially would be huge. So I'm not cheering for losses, but I wouldn't mind them either. So I enjoyed the win today. Don't get me wrong, but maybe we should pump the brakes soon. I'm just putting that out there. Now, a couple of last things I want to mention before I wrap up this video. My arm's getting pretty tired. Firstly, Thomas Chabot would not play in this game. As I mentioned last night, not that shocking. He's been dealing with a nagging injury over the last couple of weeks, according to head coach Jacques Martin. And he's not going to be out for the year, I don't think. They didn't say anything like that, nothing long-term, but he definitely did not play today. Probably to give him some rest. If he's not in for Saturday's game against the Jets, I will be a bit concerned. He's already missed too much time this year and has, frankly, the last few years been far too often injured. So hopefully it's nothing major, but it definitely makes sense to give him a bit of a break in a situation where it's a back-to-back. He's already been dealing with a nagging injury, and you're playing the Tank Bowl in a game that, frankly, does not matter. So that's one thing. The other thing I wanted to mention quickly is I really was impressed by Tyler Kleven, who was called up in lieu of Chabot being out of the lineup. Hamonic would remain a scratch, by the way. And that line, or that pairing, I should say, between him and Brandstrom could be the future third pairing for Ottawa next year. I think they're definitely testing those two out to see if they work with one another, and they do. Kleven looked very, very good today. Physically was dominant. A couple big hits as usual. Very, very aware with the puck. A couple clean passes. The exit the defensive zone. Just the subtle things he does so very well. Tracks the play very well as well. A lot of the times I saw him, jumping into the play and then dropping back right away before the other team, Chicago got the puck because he saw where the play was going. So his hockey IQ is so strong, especially for such a young player. Frankly, he's probably ready to be an NHLer, but with Belleville on the brink of being a playoff team, they're in that push there. He'll probably be sent down soon. But it's definitely good for him to get a bit of a taste of some games before next year, where frankly next year, full-time guy, especially considering the fact that, I already mentioned this, Ottawa, they have Travis Hamonic up here, and the fact they had to call up somebody instead of putting them in kind of says all you need to know about what Ottawa thinks about Travis Hamonic right now. That's not a shot at him, it just makes sense. Belleville's in a playoff push. If they wanted Hamonic in the lineup and they thought that, he would be a good, asset to have in the lineup, they wouldn't have called up Tyler Kleven. So I think this is a lot about how the organization views Travis Hamonic as well. And with another year left and a no movement clause or no trade clause, whatever it is, it's going to be interesting to see what happens this offseason. So that's not a shot at Travis Hamonic, by the way. It's just he's just not that great anymore, unfortunately. It's the way it goes sometimes, especially when you've been in the league for a long time. So, I was a little surprised, frankly, that they called up another top player for Belleville who have fallen out of a playoff spot now. But Kleven deserves it. He deserves it. He should be getting NHL minutes, and I would expect that he will be playing on Saturday, especially Chabot's gone. But I would expect him to be sent down very soon, I'd say. Belleville definitely needs him there. And with about 10 games left, there's really no point in killing Belleville's playoff chances for a few games more in the NHL when we already know what this guy can be, and it's going to be a great defenseman. So with that, thank you all for watching. Ottawa's next game is on Saturday against the Winnipeg Jets as Ottawa looks to win their first game in the Western Hemisphere of the season. Unbelievable. They've won 4 in a row. Let's see if they can make it 5 in a row and get that first win in the West time zone. So besides that, thank you all for watching. I'll see you all soon. Go Sens'd, go.